Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.
Hey everyone, welcome on to Trackside with Kokpit, brought to you by our team of GARAGE16. Mr. Aaron Lewis out there not racing. What isn't he racing these days? He's got a bloody stock car, mate. Kinser and Books here for you for the next hour to keep you entertained. We've got a special show. We catch you with Jamie Foxx, and a bit later, we're going to catch you with young Trent James. And Books, mate, everyone's loving the live stream. Renee was the hootenanny going to
Well,
town on Sunday.
it wasn't, it wasn't intended to be that. I just thought, I'll show a couple of races for the boys and girls out there all watching. And since, everybody got cancelled, and Hawke's Bay was just so beautiful and sunny, mate, as it always is, So I fired up my phone on the old tripod thing, and well, single pod, not a tripod, whatever you call that thing. But and ended up live streaming just about the whole meeting for everybody. So they all seem to like it, enjoy it, give them a bit of a, I suppose, a bit of taste of Speedway for the start of the year. But I suppose, to be honest with you, mate, I think my favourite part of that whole evening, or that whole Speedway this weekend, just gone for me, was that my son went with me and he jumped on the camera. So, we talk about family and all the rest of it and how important that was. I think that was pretty special for me, to be fair, mate, that I got to, my son joined me and joined me with this side of it as well. So it was pretty special.
Oh, I can tell, mate. I can just look at your faces and what you see it around there, having your son there. And this family time during our busy speedway season is so important. We have to reiterate that all the time. When you think of the drivers, their commitment to what they do and what they love doing, and the passion of racing our classes and speedway, not just speedway, actually, right across all motorsport, maybe just about every single sports out there. These their loved ones, their wives, their kids, and everything like that. But when you get that opportunity, like you did on Sunday Books, to have your son. I know we were just talking briefly off air with Jamie Foxx, and you saw me over at the NRL Grand Final. See, no different. Me and my grandson, it's the memories you will cherish, and it's those important times. So, yeah, Aaron Ferguson, he was happy with doing the stream, even though that wasn't intended. He had to get it out there. He started with a little bit, but it just kept going and going and going. I'm glad people gave positive feedback and enjoyed it, because that's not what we do. That's not our forte. Our show is about building the hype around speedway events, motorsports events, talking to drivers of all classes of motorsport, and just sharing a bit of fun and laughter, a bit about what they do, what they sacrifice behind the scenes, thanking their crew sponsors, and basically we promote the sport for the love of it, because we love motorsports, and at this time we're talking about speedway. So yeah, just one of those things. Who knows? Booker could be there one other time, and don't be surprised the camera pops up.
Yeah, well, that's right too. And the thing for me too, Kins, I want to sort of talk about, which I thought about it on Saturday night when I was streaming, and I filmed. I filmed. A lot of people that watched the stream with me that I put on for you guys on Saturday would have seen. I turned and I filmed and showed kids hanging off the fence and standing right on the fence when the racing's about to start. And there was one little kid, standing there, and you had 30 super stocks about to come into that corner. And it's like, parents, if you're watching and you've got little kids, yeah, let them run around. But as soon as that racing's ready to go, sit them by you. We saw what happened last year in the South Island, which was a freak accident. You've got to watch your kids, and you've got to take care of them better at Speedway. And the problem is what's happening and filtering through our sport now is that because of this lack of, I don't know what you call it, parenting or whatever, you're getting more pits are getting closed off to the public while the racing's on. And it's purely because of the unsupervised kids that are running around, and these kids by the gatekins. And the worst thing for me was the security guard walked straight past them like it was okay.
Oh, wow.
And I
Wow.
thought, wow. So I still haven't told Regan yet because I've meant to go and see him, but we can't blame the club for that, you know. And people, I've seen some comments around saying, oh, the bloody club's not getting their stuff. The club, all they can do is employ someone to do a task. If that person doesn't do that task, it's not the club's fault. We've got to realise that. We've got to back our clubs and support our clubs better. But even higher than that, we've got to keep our kids off the bloody fences, because as soon as something happens, they'll shut us down, man. That'll be the end of Speedway, you know? And it's just, yeah, it'll ruin the sport. And as not just for the sport, but if you were the poor driverkins, you know, like if they were the reason that a kid got hurt, you imagine how they'd feel.
Yeah. 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 I know. Yeah, that's something that'll live with the rest of their life. And you're right. You're 100% right, Box. And look, we don't want to go down the line. I don't want to start talking about health and safety and work safe. They
No,
would just have a
I just,
field day.
yeah, I just wanted to
And
point out to
unfortunately,
people, watch your kids.
that's the stuff that hits the media, the mainstream media headlines.
Yeah,
You use the example of the street stock event.
yeah.
You know, that event down there in the south would not got the coverage because it was around the I Am Hope and the celebrities. It got the coverage because of a car that ended up going over the fence. Pretty well, that was it. And that's where a lot of our sport hits the mainstream headlines, the papers, online, on the TV, and for all of that stuff. So if you can do your little bit, watch your family,
Yeah.
hold them when the races
Or
start.
even if you're walking along, kids, and you see a little kid, say, hey, mate, come on, you might want to move back, buddy. You know, go see mum and dad. Or, I mean, you don't just say, hey, get out of the way. You know, you can just say,
Good, nice.
you don't have to yell at the child and scare the shit out of him. But you can just say, hey,
Yeah,
come on, buddy, move back a bit, you know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and let if we all work together, we can make it better. But unfortunately, there are parents that, I mean, it's just so, the sport is a dangerous sport for a spectator if they're standing by the bloody fence, you know?
Yeah.
It's that simple. So that's all I wanted to say, mate. I just want to make people more aware, and we can all help, you know? We
Yeah,
can,
we can all
instead of
help it.
walking past and ignoring it, say something. It's like our see it, say it, stop it for the bullying campaign we're doing at the moment. Same thing. If you see someone being bullied or someone saying something on social media that isn't needed or isn't true, then just say to them, hey, that's just not acceptable. So yeah,
Exactly.
but that's me got my rant off, mate. But it just concerned me when I saw it, and I just and me being me, cause you know what I'm like, I'll be like, oh look at that, somebody's parents aren't bloody, you know, and that was on the live stream, so I didn't really want to cause a big, you know, and the meeting itself was so successful, so awesome at Biani, mate. Like seriously, it was just epic. The numbers and the cars and the smell and the just, mate, the blood's rush. You know, you get 30 supers, you know, coming into turn one by you, the whole ground shaking, you know, and you're just trembling with excitement, and you just get so excited, you know. It's like when me and you go to like we got Foxy on night, like we go to a modified event, we see a big whole lot of modifieds coming to turn, they're gone, green flag, mate. It's you barred up, ready to go, you know. It's freaking awesome, isn't it? Hey?
Oh, you can't beat it, mate. And I tell you what, we're going to be sharing our excitement because we're part of the commentary. We're actually doing the commentary over at Huntley this coming Saturday night, weather permits. Hopefully, fingers crossed it's all go. But there's a new segment we're going to bring on. We had
Yes.
AMS with us last week from the Only AMS Facebook page. You all know the one. We just brought back in what he follows in his words is the NRL, the Delhi M. What this is recognizing drivers in certain classes. Over the weekend, he got up at 4 a.m., I think it was, early hours of the morning, when he collates all of the points through My Laps, and he shared a lot of this information on that Facebook page that he keeps up and going. And he is going to join us as part of one of our early segments every Wednesday, just to give you an update and explain, just a brief explanation how this works and an update on the developments of that. I'm just going to share with you right now. This is something brand new that he launched. It's called the Driver Spotlight, and the results speaks for itself. Sam Waddell, nice looking new super saloon, looking pretty sharp. He was down at your track actually on the weekend on Sunday night.
Mate,
Those are the results in his quick time. That bumps him up. And this is sponsored by Bump and Run, which is a new page that's been launched on Facebook, I would guess. And that is the driver spotlight. So just sharing that from Miani. That's a new part. And of course, our first one off the block from Only Am's website, Facebook page, sorry. is Sam Waddell. So that's how it works. But he'll be here to join us every Wednesday,
Yeah,
just after 7:30 to explain.
yeah, and he'll give points updates and what's happening with the, who's in what first, as it goes over the season. Because as we know, this great thing that AMS is doing lasts the whole season for the drivers, and they start getting competitive about it as well, like they did last year. So it's really cool. So yeah, we'll have AMS on every week for a quick segment to give us updates, and also a chance for you, the fans, if you have any questions about it, to ask him those questions as well. So it'll be very interactive about it all, can say.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And this is the next thing. Obviously, when you take a look at what's on your screen and you see that, you'll see it from the Only Ants page as well. I don't know when I take a look at the accolades that this man that's going to
Oh,
join us next, what he's achieved. He's just about won nearly everything you could think of in the modified class, to be honest with you, up and down the whole country. The writings on Ants' page, it's also on Jamie's race page as well. Jamie Fox Racing Modified tells you everything about him, from his life to his passion and everything you want to know. And I think we might as well bring him in right now. It's a kind of good segue to bring Jamie
it
in.
is.
Oh, look, there's his family there.
His family
Hey,
just coming on
Jamie,
side with us too.
how are you, Jamie?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Good.
Mate, the season's underway for you. Your finale season after like 100 years racing in Speedway. You're a true legend in your own right, mate. You've gone and won another. Is it the 15th Auckland Modified Champs on opening night?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, obviously we won it, but it was a bit of a letdown because of obviously the rain off, and we lost a few cars. But yeah, no, we're pleased to start off on the right foot. That's the main thing. I probably was a little bit lucky. Unfortunately, me and Cody Harder tangled in the last race. We were pretty close on points, and unfortunately, he got a flat tire. So um, yeah, it would have been pretty close between me and him. But it was a good, for the amount of cars we had. It was a good night. It was a bit of a rough night in that we had a couple of showers of rain, and unfortunately the light post fuse blew out on the road, and we lost the lights. So it was one of those meetings that poor old Bruce, he tried to do the right thing by putting it on, and as a promoter, he did the right thing by cancelling Saturday. And Sunday, just everything that went wrong could go wrong, went wrong, But we got the meeting through, finished pretty late, but we got it through, and the result for us was good. But
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
hopefully, looking forward to a few of these others.
yeah, let's touch on that, Jamie. And we're just quickly talking about this off air books, you and I, and about promoters. It's a tough gig running a track, putting the events on, and Mother Nature can turn up, like you say, and do what it does. Not too sure about the power outages and everything like that. That's just, I don't know about that. But the Mother Nature side of weather, it can just affect so many promoters up and down the whole country. We're trying to put on a show and everything like that. It's tough.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys know Bruce. He does obviously doing Western Springs as well as Waikaraka and Palmy. Obviously Puck does Palmy, I think. But yeah, I mean he uh, we had what you'd call was looking like a real good racetrack. And I don't know, 10 minutes before the meeting started, quite a bit of a drizzle came and wet the track. So we tried to get the saloons out there and to pack it. And yeah, unfortunately, it just sort of upsets the whole night, not to mention the crowd. We had, there was not a big crowd, but the ones that came, yeah, unfortunately, the rain interrupts their night and kids. And yeah, it's just a bummer. But anyway, you just got to, most Speedway people know that, eh?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mate, 1984. You told us a little story, you used to hide in the bushes, but we won't go in that way. And when you jump through and watch it
Yeah.
as a kid. But 1984, mate, where it started, when's it going to sink in, or has it really sunk in after all of these years? You kind of saying, this is it, Jamie. It's coming to an end, mate. I suppose it won't resonate until the latter end of the Speedway season, or has it already sunk in?
Oh, not really, because I'm trying to focus on the up and coming season. But it's the right time, you know. It's the right time. Me and my wife have talked about it. My crew's family have been involved the same length of time. You know, some of the crew's sons that crew for me now, they weren't even born when we started. You know, so they've had a whole lifetime. And yeah, I mean, the time's right. It's right for me. I feel it's right. If I don't pull a pin, Jamo, and that'll keep going, mate. You know what he's like. He loves it. So, but he's got a wife and kids too, so he's got to spend some time with them. Unfortunately, on Sunday we talk about that. It was his wedding anniversary Sunday night, and he cancelled. He had a motel booked in town and a restaurant and everything. And when they canned it, he cancelled that. And you know, that's the commitment. And Maureen, his wife, has to wait for another day. But yeah, unfortunately, that's what Speedway does to everything, you know. And I mean, we're looking, as much as I'm looking forward to carrying on this season, I am looking forward to getting a few plans sorted out with the kids. And like you said, Kins, you know, going away with your grandson and stuff like that. Everything we've done has had to be around racing, you know, weddings, funerals, not so much, but even then, you know, it's everything, our lifestyle's dictated by racing, and everyone else is the same. Obviously, we all put the same effort in, but it is, you know, we've had a lot of years, and the time's right for me. The New Zealanders are in Auckland. I'll be 60 next year. Just time's right, you know.
Oh, good on you, mate. Wayne Alton, man, that's travelled around. I know Booker caught you on camera down in Miami on Sunday. Aaron Ferguson, Mike Harvey. Mike, look forward to catching up with you at Huntley this weekend. Evening to you, Aaron. What do you got? Yeah, it is a sad day, Wayne. You're right. And I think it was on the cards too. The votes didn't go the way of Western Springs, 11 votes to 8. And yeah, it's going to be a sad day when that track closes. And you've done some laps around good old Western Springs, eh, Jamie?
Yeah, I've ran a sprint car there, and we had a modified meeting there long time ago. I think Roger Bertram jacked it up. It was a good meeting, actually. I really enjoyed the track. You know, it was good, and we were actually looking forward. I think it might have been around COVID. We were meant to run there, but yeah, it got a bit hicked up, and unfortunately we haven't made it back there. But yeah, I can honestly say at least I've raced there, and yeah, it'll be a shame when it goes for those die-hard people. You know, we're all passionate about our sport, and those guys are no different. You know, I don't know just how quick it's all going to happen, but from what I hear, it's all meant to start happening next year. So, yeah,
I believe that this is the last season for Western Springs. I mean, Bruce Robinson said that when we had him on a few weeks back, that this was it. That was it this year for the Western Springs, and this will be their last season, and then they'll amalgamate with Wakaraka. So it's
that's what I hear.
Yeah, so I mean that's what we heard from Bruce and Weekins on that night we spoke to him. But yeah, but I was just thinking, you know, I know last time we spoke, you talked about this being your final season because it was time to spend some family time, and you just irritated, or whatever. I've got to get the word right. That again, that's the reason Speedway's taken over the family for so long. It's time to give back to the family. But
Yeah.
do you still get that same excitement when you belt up for the first time in the car that night as you did when you first belted up in the car that night? The first time you ever belted up, jumped in the car, do you still have the nerves and the excitement when you still jump in?
Yeah, no, I still do. Like, I mean, I'd love to carry on, you know, but my dedication to my fitness is not helping in that department, and probably having the odd beers not helping either. But,
well, that's what happens when we get older, eh?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think personally, I think things have crept up on me pretty quick. Just seems like yesterday we were doing it all, but now it's I just sort of woke up and think, Jesus, when I look back the amount of years we've spent doing this, and a few things have happened, a few people have passed away, and uh, all that stuff
Yeah,
con-
yeah,
contributes to the decisions. And there's no, I'm definitely not saying I'm going to retire and come back and all that. We're done. This year is, I've made my mind up. We're selling up. Um, Personally, I'd like someone, a younger guy, if we can sell the car to the right person, or someone, I might be able to still stay in touch with and help and still stay involved a little bit. Just means I don't have to be in the shed every night and travel every weekend. It's just gives me a bit of time to spend with the family, like you say.
yeah.
So it would be quite, you'd quite like that, to sell the car to a young guy or a young girl and sort of be a mentor for them through it and help them out a bit.
Well, yeah, that's I mean, that's the future of of Speedway, isn't it? These young guys and girls coming through. Um, I think that's where it's at. We just need, in the modified class, we're struggling to get the younger ones into it. I spoke with one of Lala's boys down at Waikaraka, and he was saying, he would love to try and modify once he's out of the super stock. Those guys who come through the ranks, through the mini stocks, through super stocks or whatever, they're going to be good drivers. And if you can get them into a modified, the modified class is not that dear. It's not as dear as what people think it is.
Yeah.
You got the motor, you got to. When I say I've raced for all those years, mate, we spent 25 years mucking around with second-hand bits and pieces, and Saturday afternoon trying to put a motor back together off parts off another one. And these guys today don't do that. They hop straight out of mini stock into a good car, handling car with a good engine, and they just drive, and if we can get a couple of them in Auckland getting into the modifieds, and other people see how good they can go, I'm sure the class will rejuvenate itself,
Yeah.
Because it's just, I know the super stocks, everyone, they love them because of the hype and they get the accolades and all that. It's well promoted. They run at more tracks, and most of the young guys want to go to a super stock, but eventually, they're getting that competitive. Honestly, there's 150 odd, or probably 200 in the country, and they're all probably within split second of one another.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I would like that. First of all, I've obviously got to sell it, but if it's someone that I'm around in the area, or even if we travel, I'll certainly be there to help out to get them going, as good as I can.
Well, there you go, Kins. You could own the car finally, and Foxy, I hope you get it going, mate.
Oh, wait. Only if I could rewind the clock. I just want to put this rumor that's around on Facebook, because everything's true on Facebook. I know you've confirmed that this is it in the modifieds. So you are not going into a super saloon like the super stock drivers next year?
No, mate, no.
No, I'm just putting the leg, mate. I'm just trying to start something off here.
I took that
I
drink
got
then
enough
at the wrong
trouble.
bloody time.
I've got enough trouble with this thing without a super saloon, that's for sure.
That's where all the old super stock guys go to super saloons at the moment. So, well, not so much
Yeah.
old anymore, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
right.
there was a time when quite a lot of the old super stock, stock car guys were in mods. There was Loopy Lewin, old Bruce Lewin, and Bill Dawn, and
Billy Dawn, yeah, I remember that down Palmy, yeah.
yeah, there's a few guys in Wellington, and
Yes.
You know, there used to be a few super stock guys in modifieds,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Oh no,
no, we just got to
just
get some promotion going and get some young fellas in them, and hopefully the class will keep going. You know.
yeah, exactly. Tracy Vincent, welcome to the show. Mike Johnson, yeah, I know you got a huge Saturday night down at Ocean View Speedway with the first round of the Superstock Thunder. I know a few of the local boys up my way from the mountain heading down that way. Wayne Alton Modu. What's Mandy serving for tonight there at the Godly Restaurant, eh? Hey, the
Yeah.
old Goodly Restaurant.
Yeah,
Hey,
not godly restaurant.
Goodly, yeah. How good is that food? Books makes you
Mate,
hungry, eh?
Maru's wife can cook like you wouldn't believe, brother. Mate, and the puddings and the cakes, eh? That's why
Yeah.
Murray looks so slim, all those puddings and cakes.
It looks good. Samantha, yeah, looking forward to catching up with you on Saturday. Hey, you, Blake. All good, mate. Connor Orkram. Amron. Based on the data, a rough count up based off the data only on the audience page. There it is all there. Right, merchandise. I see you got a bit of merch out there now on Merch Pro, eh? Getting it out there, and it's good to see it out there. Get the fans buying a bit of memorabilia.
Yeah, yeah. Jamie Gemmo sort of jacked that up in my last season. He's just tried to get a bit of promotional stuff going, I suppose. I think he's got the new ones for the Dirt Cup are out too, which are pretty good because they've got all the winners on the back of them, you know. So it's quite a nice shirt.
Ooh, we might have to have a look at some of that stuff, Kins, I think. Just
You can
another
have a look.
shirt
It's
to
pretty
the...
cool. Yeah. Another shirt to the collection of all the other Speedway memorabilia.
Something will have to be thrown out. I haven't got the room in the camper anymore. Might have to be a super stock one out the window and in come a modified shirt, eh?
Oh, we
Hey?
might have to do
Oh,
something with
you'll
them
upset them.
next year. Yeah, I know. Matt says Dave Evans even had to go in the mods back in the day. And Brian McPhee, I remember Brian from out of Wally's, comes to
Yeah,
mind.
Brian, yeah.
Yeah, Thomas Scott, mate, always good to have you on the show, Thomas. It's always good to see you saying hello to us on the show. And yeah, we continue on every Wednesday. But you know, those memories you've shared, Jamie, I know you got a busy season ahead, and let's hope you know, it really builds up number wise, and we get everyone traveling in to support you on your final run. You got the big New Zealand champs coming up Feb. I know you're going to be down at the 240s as well, and trying to make most of the tracks just for one hurrah.
Yeah, that's the thing we're trying to do. Like I said earlier on, I'm really stoked with Rotorua have put on a couple of the 240s is awesome. We always love that meeting. So we go to that whether we race or not. But yeah, they've put on a couple of meetings for us, which is, like I said, you know, that track's I've travelled to that track every year they've run modified, so I don't think we've really missed a year at Easter. We've always been down there at Easter, and they were good old days. And you know, years ago we had a lot of fun, and still fun today. I love going to Rotorua, and obviously you look at their track and their facilities is second to none. Really, it's a awesome club, and Sonia's handed it down, and you know they're doing a great job of running it. You know.
Yeah, young Samuel Ashton's doing a very good job. He's very committed, that young man.
Yeah, we were talking to Sam on Saturday night, and he was showing us a bit on his phone about how all that new control room thing operates, and just really, really elite setup for a club deal. You know, it's not Waikaraka's meant to have something along the lines of all this when it's all finished, but you know, Rotorua's obviously set the benchmark there with what they got there, and Sam, and they've obviously lucky with Sam. Sam is lucky with Sonia and Stan. You know, the amount of effort they've put in over the years. Stan is, when I was a young fella, he was, you know, obviously he's older than me. He was there then, and he was doing all that stuff in those days. He's still doing it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing, you know. They've been very lucky to have them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Huntley is with Red, I suppose. Red puts all the effort into
Yeah.
Huntley, didn't he? They got a good committee and good people behind them, and that's what makes it successful, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to jump on that, and because a lot of the promoters, we did a promotion build up around the tracks, promoting all of the events coming up over this upcoming season. And that's another thing we need to remind people: volunteers. A lot of clubs are struggling just to get volunteers, and if you want to help out, go and talk to someone at the track. And who knows, they might give you something to help them out with, because that's the only way these facilities run is with the volunteer numbers to help them out. They're always in need of people to help them out left, right, and center. So don't be shy. Just go and ask and see, you might be keen to help out somewhere. Who
Yeah.
knows? They may give you a
Yep.
bit of a role or something to help out their track, and they would appreciate it. And like Reed said to us in Fiona the last time we spoke to them, the word thank you with a smile just means so much. And all tracks up and
Yeah,
down the country can do with that. So, instead of sitting there on the sideline and commenting, or even, dare I say, going to the good old book face, tell everyone your bloody issues, go and
yeah,
talk to the club and say, look, I don't mind helping out. I know how tough it is, and I know they got to do these jobs. And just give me a flag, give me something to
Hey,
bloody do, and go and
hey,
do it.
don't
yeah,
be the problem, be the solution, eh?
Hard out, mate.
Yeah.
Hard
yeah,
out.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
I'm going to have a question for you. There, a bit of fun with this question, I suppose, Foxy. Is you've raced with young Brad Lane, you've raced with the old man Pops. Who's the better driver, mate? Come on, who do you think was the better? Who do you think's the better driver? Because you and Pops used to have some pretty good battles back in the day, didn't you? We've seen some awesome footage of you and old man Laney going hard out at Bay Park, and
yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, I'm not sure whether Scotty ever had quite the gear that Brad's got
yeah,
nowadays. You know, he in those days, well, when he started, I remember him, and Big L, and he actually towed me to Tauranga one year. We raced in the old track, I think it was, not Bay Park, but and then he got his own mod and away he went. And they same as us, they used to do their own engines and all that sort of stuff. So like I said before, the reason I think it's different now is the younger kids get into a car that, like the likes of Scotty and me when he raced and I raced, took us 20 years to get that, you know. Um, and now the younger ones, the gear is that good. They're stepping into something that's ready to rock and roll. That, you know, is as good as everyone else's. But yeah, no, Brad obviously he's never going to die wondering. Scotty was the same. He'd give it a go, you know. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, these days it's so competitive now that some of these New Zealand titles, one race, one good heat can really stick you right at the right end, you know.
yeah,
Same as one bad heat. One bad heat can put you under the pump, and then you're trying to chase your ass, and you end up crashing, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no, they're Scotty was a good competitor. There's no doubt about that, you know. Like that's what we lacked in Auckland a couple of years ago. Luke was just coming up, and we were running around with half a dozen cars, and we never had a real thick competition, you know. And if you want to be at the top end, you got to run with the top cars all the time. You know, that's where it's at.
I suppose that rolls into that next question here in the comments here, Foxy. Ben Austin, who is the best driver you have shared the track with, and what is your favorite track you raced on?
Um,
It's a
I
tough
think
one, eh?
personally, my favourite track is Waikaraka, really. Um, one of my one of the favourite tracks would have to be Tauranga, the Bay Park. That's awesome when we ran on that. That's suitable for modifieds and sprint cars. But the track we run on generally mostly is Waikaraka wood, and I like Waikaraka really. Um, I mean, I've raced with a lot of good drivers. You know, I've raced with Roger Bertram. I've raced with Murray Gorge.
Yeah,
I
it's a
raced
hard
with
one.
Merv Julian, Bunter, Jacko. You know, I've raced with so many drivers. You know, I suppose to be fair, the two best drivers that I would probably rate would be Roger and Murray. Greg Keegan was also in that era. You know, I raced with Greg before his young fellow Luke. And Luke's smooth like Greg was. You know. But yeah, I mean, Roger was obviously Roger and Murray. They had an era there where she was all on for young and old, and Phil Game was amongst that lot too. You know,
Yep.
there was Phil, and yeah, I really haven't got one driver. I mean, they're all, you learn a little bit off everybody, don't you? And try these things.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I like your answer there because you
it's
pretty well spread it right across. It's a hard one because you're raced in that era where the modifieds were at the top end of the class. You had 2 nights for everything, whether it be New Zealand's, whether it be North Islands, whether it was a GP, whether it was the Dirt Cup. It was just such
Yeah,
big numbers, and they're all legends in their own right. No different to you, Jamie, because of what your accolades
yeah,
have shown of your career. It's it's a hard one to pin down one driver because you race with the best of the best. Like you said, to compete and be at the top of the game in the modified, you had to race with the best, and you've done that. And
yeah,
it's very, very hard to pinpoint one particular driver because, hey, every driver, he or she out there on the track deserves their own right and recognition. But you're out there competing.
yeah. I mean, things have changed now a little bit from the older drivers. You know, obviously Luke and Brad and Jonas England was there, Blair McPhee. And they're all mini stock guys. You know, that's what I say. If we can get a few more mini stock guys up here, the modifieds will take off again. I just you know, I just don't want to see the class die off. It's a great class, but you know, it's our time. We've spent much doing as what we could do. You know, Jamie's sponsored a hell of a lot of meetings over the years. I'd hate to think between him and my other sponsor, Brian Clark at BDC Engineering, and also Container Sales and Leasing, they've sponsored Dirt Cups and New Zealand Champs and a lot of events, you know. And I just hope when we finish up, there's someone that can pitch in and keep the class rolling, you know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to bring up the last image before we wrap it up and bring young Trent James in as this image that's on your Facebook page that's been doing the rounds.
great
I
poster.
love the photo. It is. It's brilliant, books. It's got your cars and it's got everyone, like you said. You can't do this without your sponsors. And it's the big things for
No,
the memories. You know, it's got a picture of there with the checker flag, your current car, cars you've raced, and the different styles of bodies you've raced as well. And you just can't do it, mate. You know, we could sit here for hours and hours talk about sponsors, families, and crews. But mate, that
yeah,
means so much to you. And Booker and I, you know, we love modifieds, and we'll be there supporting you trackside. We look forward to the modified champs come up mid-February and to watch you racing trackside, mate. And really thank you for sharing your memory with us. This won't be the last you join us. I know you hated
no,
media
thank
back
you.
in the day. You're pretty comfortable with us here, mate. You got it switched on, and it's always a pleasure
No,
to catch
no,
you, Jamie.
I appreciate what you guys do too, man. You got an awesome show, and it's great. You get it out and about. That's what it's all about.
Mate,
Yeah,
not as great as you after 40 years doing what you've done, and it's going to come to an end. But we're privileged to have you on the show and leaving us all those memories that you've done in the car over the years gone by. And we do look forward to catching up with your trackside. All the best this weekend. I know you've got a big meeting up there in bloody Auckland. And, mate, let's hope that bloody rain gets and we
Yeah,
get to see some racing, eh?
yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks very much, eh?
Yeah.
thanks,
Take
Jamie.
care,
Look
mate.
forward to catching up around the tracks this season, mate.
Put your hand up,
Yep.
Jamie.
Thank
Let's
you.
see what's shaking. Is your hand going like this? Hey,
Hey,
no, look
smooth
at that.
as a race
Calm,
car
Okay.
driver.
yeah. That's why you're a race car driver,
Haven't even
mate.
had a beer.
Cheers, Jamie.
Thanks, mate.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.
There we go.
You know, because
So,
just when he answered that question about, you know, who's his best driver, and you know, you think of a man that is one of the best drivers out there, and he starts telling us and rattling off the names, the caliber of the names that he's talking about. And I see people on here saying that era, that 90s era, and writing off names, like how special is it that you're finishing your career and you've raced, even though you're a legend yourself, but you've raced with all those people, the Bertrams and the Gorge and whatever else we got here. You go, Willie Noonan, Paul Dewar, all these names, mate, that just were legends in the sport. And Foxy's got to race with all of them. I mean, that's got to be special in itself, and the friendships that are made, just fantastic. I was in awe of listening to him just ramble off the names that he got to race with, I remember sitting there watching those guys, mate.
Well, you got to take in the context too of what he's achieved in his career. He started as a young man. He's knocking on 60 next year. It's family time. That's important to him now. We've got a young man that's come into the sport. He's been over to the UK, and he's driving the superstock, and we're going to talk to young Trent very soon. But you got to put into perspective. Talking to Jamie Foxx and knowing the accolades, what he's achieved in his career, and you match it up against those other drivers, the Bertrams, your Gorges, and all of them. When you take a look at the list of what this man has achieved, 15 title from the Auckland Modified Champs, won 10 Super Dirt Cups, 4 times New Zealand's. I don't even need to look at the list that's in front of me because it's in my head. That's going to be embedded there. And I'm not taking nothing away from Roger Bertram, what he's achieved with multiple wins in his own right, and what Muzz has achieved as well.
Yep.
Yeah. But this guy, up and down the country, in a lot of modified classes, north and south, has been on the podium, and he deserves to be recognized. You can recognize him. Go to Merch Pro, get one of his T-shirts that recognizes what he's done in the 40 years, his achievements, and also where it thanks all of the sponsors that have sacrificed so much to get Jamie out there to entertain you over the years around the track. It's just amazing. It's a privilege to talk to him and have someone of that caliber to join us on our show. And a young man, no doubt, that's going to be in similar boat if he continues on racing. But one day along the line, books like most superstock drivers, he may venture into a super saloon. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they'll bloody
I don't know
like
about a super. I watched them drive on Saturday night, mate. I don't know you could hit us 3 saloons off a corner at once, but yeah. Hey, Trent.
Hey.
Yeah.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Good, mate. Hey, thanks for joining the show and coming to have a bit of a chat with us. We haven't caught up since, obviously, the UK. And did you come back with an English girl, I hear?
No, I was.
Oh, bloody Facebook. Facebook tells me everything, mate. It's not even true. Mate, just to wrap it up, what a privilege as a young man alongside with Tyler, Caleb, to be over in the UK, How cool was that?
Yeah, it was an awesome experience. Yeah, definitely something I think I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah. What did you love about it?
Oh, it was just cool being able to get over there and represent New Zealand and see how their style of racing was. Definitely a fair bit different to ours, but yeah, just learning a whole new racecraft and how to drive something different to what we drive every weekend.
Yeah.
What was it like racing on tarmac, mate? What's the comparison to dirt?
I found it was really similar to a slick track at New Zealand's, but even worse. So as soon as you put down your foot, it just lit up. So you really had to figure out how to get your power down and then slow the car down for the next corner, get around that, and then get back on it down the straights again. But by the end of it, I personally believe got the hang of it.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's like everything, okay? Once you start, I'm guessing if you were still over there, and I know they're racing currently now. Mate, actually, before I get into that, did you see that bloody hit on Frankie Wayman and he hit the wall, he went sideways?
Yeah, I don't know how anybody's managed to survive that one and pop back down, but yeah.
Man, that guy has all the luck. The
Yeah.
Kiwi guys give it to him at the 240s, smashed the shit out of him, and he still gets on the podium. Have you seen that video?
No, I haven't seen that. I don't do the Facebook like all you fellas do.
He got drilled into the wall and went all over, and then he bounces back on his wheels, and off he goes. And he still wins things. It's like, what the hell? Mate, but like what I want to say, Trent, if you'd stayed over there and gone on amongst it for a bit longer, being as young as you would have got it just like that, I'd say, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like anything you do in life, the more you do it, sure, the better you'll get.
Yeah. Big season ahead for you, young man. The car looks sharp and looking pretty flash, just like it always does. And got a big season upcoming season.
Yeah, pretty big season ahead. Yeah, going to be some teams racing and all that in there as well. So, yeah, looking forward to a good season, hopefully.
Booker says to me, he was there on Sunday at Miani, mate. You already started with the opening night down there, not afraid to use their bumper, eh?
Yeah, you know, just got to. Oh, that's probably half of the UK to get around the car over there. You have to hit them out of the road, so probably need to get it a little bit out of my system before I start to get out.
Well, I thought you were. I even said it on because I streamed the racing. I ended up streaming a lot of the racing on Sunday night, and you went into turn 1 and fired 3 cars off at the same time, but they didn't quite fire off enough. And then you got into turn 3, so you fired them all off again. You got sort of tangled, but it reminded me of how Asher drives. He'll take 3-4 cars in the corner and then pop out. And is that how you're driving aggressive now? Is that where you think it's the best way to go? Because I've always thought that. I mean, I spoke years ago to Graham Ward, and he said he never started racing properly and winning stuff till he started using his bumper to smash people out of the way and go through. Is that sort of your thinking this season, to just give it a bit more of the old front bumper? Because they're there for a reason, aren't they? So, is that the idea? Because you got the pace to leave them, so is it sort of bump and run now and go, or what?
Yeah, well, I kind of done that in Hawke's Bay because I actually got a fairly decent twack going into the corner of the lap before, so I was kind of repaying it a bit. But you watch Asher and all that and how they drive, and yeah, Asher does that, and yeah, he comes into the corner hard, he punts him out of the way, then he gets away. So definitely is something that I reckon works as well.
Yeah.
Just don't let Peter Rees get
tangled up with you. Just got to make sure you
eh?
don't do it at the wrong time and stuff yourself up.
Yeah, as I say, just don't let that Peter Rees near your car, eh? He always slows you down. Hey, ends up on a bonnet or something.
Yeah, he likes driving through my roll cage, so he gets more work, I reckon.
If he comments, he'll be watching that bloody tonight. Hey, Steve Palmer. Yeah, Book's done a good job entertaining the racing. Glad you enjoyed it. Madu Goodley, Mike Moore, Paul Dewar. Yeah, the list goes on, mate.
So you'll do the New Zealand's, Nelson?
Yeah, we'll be doing the New Zealand's Nelson, the GP in Christchurch, I think. We're planning on doing that as well.
Oh, okay, so, have a double, yep.
Yeah, then as well as Restore as well. So.
Oh, you are doing the Restore?
Yeah, well, we're definitely looking into it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
we're not gonna...
anything can happen, but it is penciled in for the Restore.
Oh, bloody hell, Books. We're going to have to put up with this young fella.
Oh, we're going to put all these people on the Restore, you know. I tell you what, that's going to be an epic fun for public and drivers. And anybody involved in that tour is just going to have an absolute ball, I reckon. It's going to be something that is going to embed memories for years to come, I think, that tour this next season, or this season next year, should I say. Yeah, just as long as the boats can get us all across, that'll be the main problem. Yeah.
Right, so you're spending years down in Christchurch, obviously, as you said. You got the GP. Then you got the New Zealand's, and no doubt you'll have a go at the 240s. That'll be always a huge one.
Yeah, we'll be at 240s. Yeah, got second last year, so
yeah,
got a bit of a big task to try and take a step up this year, but give it a go.
Yeah, it's just you and your mate going to roll up in the big truck and trailer, just the 2 years again.
Oh, hopefully Dan and that come this year so they can help.
Just if it breaks down, he just leaves it for Asher to fix the next morning, mate. It's easy doing the Superstock thing, I tell you. So you said teams racing before, so you're going to put your hand up for Mustangs, are you?
Yeah, put my hand up for any teams racing I can get. Yeah, just whatever team, the experience is what I want and need. So if I want a teams race, just need to be ready to do it for anything.
Yeah.
Wow, good on you, man. Good on you. You can just tell, you can just sense it with this young man. Obviously, he said it. He started to use the bumper. he's used to being up the wall. You just got to ask Jaden Ward that. But he wants to do the opposite, and be involved in the team. So teams is basically, when you think a lot of super stock drivers, it's the pinnacle for a lot of them, eh? And they want to do the big show. And already you see the hoopla around on social media around the whole Nelson Tigers big thing at the moment. Everyone's talking that up, Going to see a sea of orange with black stripes and everything like that. And it's just the hype of that event, eh? Super stock drivers just want to do bloody teams.
Yeah, exactly. I grew up going to Speedway watching teams being the big meeting or whatever. So now that I'm in the position that I'm racing in that, yeah, it's something I wanted to do since a child.
Awesome, mate.
And yes,
Awesome,
our kids brought up the Jada Ward thing at the wall. That was that last year for that Wellington Money race. You going back to that this year? That's happening again at the Arapiri Modified same weekend. So you're going to be going to that back to Wellington for that one again, the shootout?
Yeah, I think Palmy's racing the same night, but I'll might try to get a clearance because I'm definitely got a pencil in that I want to go do it again. Yeah, well, once again got second at that, so
Yeah.
but a bit of a big task to try to get one step ahead again, but we'll give it another go.
Hey, there's been some good drivers over the years, and I'm just thinking when you said second, I know a driver as an example, Rodney Wood, always got the second, and they never quite got the 1NZ in the super stock. Yeah, did it in the sprint car and the street stock over his career, but there's been those drivers who just never quite got that number one. They've got the seconds and the thirds, and you remember Big H back in the day, boxing, we used to race, he never got
Mr. 3NZ, 2NZ. Yeah.
never got past it, never got past it.
So that's actually, Wayne Otten just asked a question. I probably noticed it myself, actually. So used to hearing you go around the track, Trent, and the thing's doing 1,000,000 mile an hour in revs, but it didn't sound like it was doing 1,000,000 mile an hour in revs on Saturday night. Were you starting to lift a little bit of something? We got Wayne Otten asking, what's the story?
Yeah, so I'm actually a little bit concerned about it as well. My car went to Reese's, and Ash ended up finding out that the reason why my car was so loud was because my muffler was stuffed on it. So he cut off my muffler and put a new one on it. So now it's the same as everyone else's. So you can't hear it.
So now it's not screaming sounds like it's screaming like 100 mile an hour, valve bouncing and carrying on.
Yeah, I started contemplating cutting the muffler apart, I think so.
Mate, it was always a battle between you and bloody old Zane, who was the loudest car out there. It was either used to,
Zane Dox, his screams as well. Quinn Ryan's is quite the screamer too this season. Of his 8-1. So yeah.
Oh, great.
The louder they are, the better.
You're talking about the cars, eh, mate? No, it's all right.
Pretty much everything in life.
But still, still flaming out, which is cool. And that's the thing, we talked about this when we started seeing the flames coming out the exhaust. It's just that added value to fans who just love it, love seeing it. Put a Kumara in that muffler. That's all, everyone. Everyone should really cook it up, everyone. Right, just like that. Who knows?
So have you set yourself some goals this season, Trent, to what you want to achieve, what you'd like to see yourself achieve this season? Do you start the season and say, right, I want to do this, I want to qualify for this, or is there anything you sit down and set yourself goals for?
Oh, not really. Yeah, well, of course, this season's goal is getting to the teams racing side of it. Try to do as much as that as I can, but yeah, same as every year, just try to qualify for all of the big shows and yeah, see where you end up, really.
Yeah, because that's half the battle, isn't it? In this super stock class, you get there's so many that go through. So to even just qualify for say 240s, New Zealand, whatever, that's a big achievement in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look at New Zealand's last year. I was pretty much set to qualify, and then in the third race, I made it to about 2 laps to go. Then I ended up getting tangled up with the car and went into the wall backwards, and that was my qualifying done right there.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to pick these days when you qualify. When you qualify at these big meetings, especially in the superstar class, that's achievement within itself. Because the colour power drivers now, like yourself and many others at a young age, and they're on the pace, there's not a hell of a lot of difference in some of the fast cars out there. You know, once upon a time, and if we go back way back when we used to watch the A grades books and Superstocks, you could just about pick out a handful of drivers.
Yeah.
But now it's just an even playing field, and you necessarily don't even have to have the fastest thing out there. It just comes out like you said, Trent, with a mistake or something getting tangled up.
Yeah.
You just got to cruise on through. And honestly, at that New Zealand chance when Blair Eulenberg got second, it was like, where the hell did he come from all of a sudden? Because in most people's minds around the track, they had these drivers that, but his name just popped out and he just did it what he did, just got the points, and hey, he's on the podium. He's 2NZ looking all retro again, like his dad's car back in the day.
Aye.
Actually, the 85 I saw was at Miani, and that had the look, and it's got the wing. I saw
Yeah,
that.
he was there.
on the car. Yeah, and I
Yep.
saw the old wing. I was thinking, what the hell? They'll bring out the white 76 soon, and then the black one, Daryl's old one. Right, it brought
Look
back
at that Trent
memories.
sitting there, that's well over his head, bang, gone,
Yeah,
eh?
He wasn't even thought of back then, but it's just good to see that come back, you know, just to see that wing come back and be part of it. So is the new 144G Tim Ross, this new Hartley Reese sound phenomenal. Scott Honeybone, guessing they're all starting to sound like that and head that way. And no doubt, you know, like you say, you got your goals set up for the season, and when you got a nice, bright-looking car, looking like it is, Trent, are you going to rock out any merch for any of the fans out there?
Yeah. So yeah, we're working on at the moment sorting out all of the merchandise and all of that. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'd say it'll end up being like how it was last season. We just put up a thing on the Facebook page, and everyone could order all their merch, and it all got made to the order for everyone. So
Yep, pre-orders. Yep, best way to do it.
yeah. So they're working on that at the moment, I think. So yeah, hopefully won't be too far away.
Going to do a new poster, mate, with you in there? You know, I saw the last one from last year before you went overseas, and going to rock out any new posters for the young fans and young fans like myself?
Yeah, yeah. We got,
Just turn the
Yeah,
wheel so
well-
the sticker's not on top of it.
The bloody
yeah.
sticker.
But when I took my photos before I bloody raced and destroyed it, I made sure that the sticker wasn't on the top of the wheel there.
Oh, good on you, mate. Good on you.
So overall, were you happy with the performance of the car for your opening meeting, mate?
Yeah, the engine got a refresh this year. We tried some new shocks on it in Miani. Yeah, just a couple little changes in that. So yeah, I was definitely happy with it. It was definitely fast. Yeah, well, that first race, I came from grid 12 up to second, and I was battling with Quinn the whole race. So yeah, definitely pretty stoked with it.
Yeah. The track was in outstanding condition all night, wasn't it, for Miani? It was that new sand they put in there, I think it's really worked for that track. There wasn't many ruts or holes, was there?
Yeah, it was actually pretty smooth. Yeah, it was good.
Good track. Yeah.
Mate, anything else you want to wrap up and say before we rock over to 8:30? You got racing this coming weekend, no doubt?
Yeah, we got Palmy's opening after they got rained out last weekend. Palmy's opening on Saturday, so we'll be there ready to go again.
Right, and your sponsors, you want to do a bit of a quick shout out to them? They help get you on the track.
Yeah, I quickly wrote down my list as my bloody George at the start. just reminding myself of it. Got Sharp As Line Haul, Supercar Lunch Drives, Speedway Garage, Advanced Panel and Paint, Creddy Flex, Matt Tech Services, Display Associates, Rees Race Cars, Hullenback Haulage, DC Services, New Image here, Freightliner Hardcore, Still Shot Wanganui, TDS, Taupo Diesel Solutions, and Fastlane Spares.
Like, I can't do without the sponsors, mate. Hey,
Awesome,
they help
eh?
so much for all sports, and especially you and your family and your crew. I mind there's only a few years these days, but hey, you still rock on out there, mate, and entertain the fans. Look, Trent, we look forward to catching up with you trackside real soon. Hope things all go to plan with you, mate, and good to catch up. Thanks for coming to join us on a Wednesday night, and yeah, we definitely look forward to sharing the laughs and having some fun in the pits, mate.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Awesome, Trent.
Take
Cheers,
care.
man. Enjoy your season.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you.
See you, bro.
Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you. Here we go. Trent James here talking about the big season ahead as well. Going to be at the big meeting, Sharp As Motorsport. You can give them a follow on social media like most do these days. That's where you'll find them and keep you up to date on everything going on and what's happening around trackside with Trent, his family, and the team. And like he said, his goals are already set. He'll be at the big ones. He's been second at a few of them. Obviously, he definitely wants to do teams. And who doesn't want to do tens when you're in the super stock car class these days? And you take a look at some of the classes out there, it just about looks like teams sometimes with some of the other classes. But it's just good to see our Speedway is back. And just going to quickly share with you this coming weekend that is what on. So those are all the tracks that are up and going. Fingers crossed the weather doesn't do its silly little thing and we all get along trackside. Like Booker says over the last few shows, please, if you can, get your bum trackside and support the clubs.
Get your backside, trackside, mate. That's the way to go.
Backside, trackside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we'll be at Hundy.
Yeah, that's right, Bevan. Yeah, we'll be there. Catching up. We'll see you there, Bevan. And the new shirt, yeah, the new shirts.
Wayne, all the Silver Taniwha will be on the mic. Both of us will be on the mic this weekend, Wayne.
Yeah, mate, we'll do. I suppose I'll share this other little bit in there as well that's been racing around the good old social media. Whatever you want to take out of that, read into it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm not sure if that's just they're back for this runoff race with Christchurch or it's a big thing, but we're going to look into it and see if we can't get a word with them on the show and see what the main deal is, and talk about it all. So I'm going to make a couple of phone calls tomorrow to some people we know down there and see if we can't get a few of them on to talk maybe next Wednesday if we can. We'll see what happens, but we'll try and get that for you guys and girls out there to give you a bit more information. But yeah, this weekend, Miani will be fine. Murray's got, we know that, Murray, but I'm travelling all the way away to to watch Speedway. Hey, holy moly.
Yeah, they'll make calls on some of this, and the best way, like I say, keep in touch with the Speedway Tracks Facebook pages, websites. It's not an easy call by promoters, obviously, but they've got to make a call ahead of the weather predictions, and we don't want you all sitting trackside and very well knowing that the weather may turn to custard, and all of a sudden it does and it explodes, and you get caught in it all. Then all social media plays up, and they should have made the call earlier. They knew the bloody rain was coming, but you try and put yourself in the shoes of being a track promoter with all the work they get the earlies out of the morning. We've seen this. They get the track prep, they get everything prepped. They're there from the crack of dawn till the last one leaves early hours of the morning. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. Big thank you to Jamie Fox tonight. And also thank you to young Trent James who joined us. And hope you enjoy Speedway this weekend. And we'll be back next Wednesday. And safe travels. We've done well over Labour weekend. 0 road toll. So let's even do better as we roll into the month of November. Merry Christmas, New Year's around the corner, race fans. Oh, tell me about it.
Bloody Christmas. Jeez.
Snap induction. Snap induction, mate.
Hey, holy snap induction, all right. Jeez, there's a few of those coming out Saturday night, actually, with the stream. But yeah. But hey, listen, we'll see what we can do next week to bring you guys some more information about all things going out and all things Speedway. But we appreciate you all tuning in tonight with us as we talk to the legend Foxy and the young man Trent, who is certainly an up-and-coming superstar in the ranks, that's for sure. And he's made the shift, and we should support him in making that shift and show him the support that he deserves. For those that are out there on social media giving the hate, be careful of those buses. I wouldn't want you to get run over. We got no room for hate on this show, Aikens.
No, definitely not. 8 weeks to Christmas. Thanks, Wayne. But definitely not. Yeah, I did see that on the latest dirt track there, Scott. But yeah, we'll see what happens, eh? Well, as we always do, we'll get all the confirmation when we do the big teams build up, which is going to be pretty well early next year, straight after 240s. 240s is the.
And the other thing to remember too, Kins, I think that it is that the final decision on who gets to come back just because the fans say and people say the Tigers will be back next year, it still comes down to Bruce. You know, like the Gisborne Giants didn't get in straight away. You know, there's still teams there. Someone has to go for someone to come back. So just, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We won't speculate. We'll wait till we get it from the horse's mouth and then we'll make a statement, Aikens.
Yeah, Rob Miller. Cheer, bro. Booker, cheer. You got a bro there, Rob. Hey, it's good to have Rob back and see him and the young fella out there on their sidecars entertaining the fans. Sorry we didn't catch you on Sunday. Mr. Dykstra just dropped in. But hey, that's a wrap on tonight's show. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your Wednesday and the rest of the week ahead. And we'll catch you back same time, 7:30. We'll have more guests. What's happening around the Speedway track. We'll have Ams with us to start the show to give you the update on his points and everything. But yeah, thanks for your comments. Thanks for joining us tonight and take care.
Thanks, team. Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bub and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot, Natty.